not happening. Absolutely not going to happen. I was so broken and so screwed up and so used for so many years. I was so sure that anybody that came into my life was just here to screw me over. I didn't trust anybody. I wouldn't talk to anybody.
Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast, where we talk about manifestation, money, and practical guidance to creating your dream reality. My name is Amy Van Meel, and I am an experienced coach and transformation guide, obsessed with helping you get out of your own way and create a life that blows your mind each day you wake up. My goal in this podcast is to share practical manifestation, self-awareness, and growth techniques in real talk conversations. So if you're ready to massively transform your reality, your finances, your relationships, and your overall enjoyment of life, you are in the right place. I am absolutely delighted that you're here with me today, babe. Let's get into it. Hello, my loves, and welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am so fucking excited for today's episode. Today is the first episode in an ongoing series that I am titling Women of Intrigue, where I will be, over time, bringing along women for a conversation with myself, for the podcast, for your benefit, that I just am absolutely intrigued by. I am truly so excited about our inaugural kickoff episode in the Women of Intrigue series. I am super, super excited to share who it is in just a moment. But all I can tell you right now, before we jump into all of the things, is this was such a juicy conversation. Sometimes we just connect with souls almost instantaneously, and this is one of those examples. So let me introduce Liane Pinel. Liane is a spiritual consultant and business coach. She is the founder and co-owner of the Spirit Within Canada, a chain of metaphysical learning centers and shops. And she has been in the global spiritual/new age community for over 35 years. Liane has been an intuitive counselor, psychic consultant, teacher, guide, mentor, and coach for individuals, for celebrities, for companies and corporations, and is also a professional artist and photographer who loves to teach others how to bring their work to the world. Liane's passion and her purpose are very much intertwined, and as she helps others find their paths, passions, and purpose in life through the spiritual healing process, she finds that we tend to find similarities that draw us all to a much larger picture. Liane created the Spirit Within Canada Learning Centers, which is an amazing chain of volunteer-run metaphysical and spiritual shops that house all of the spiritual businesses that she coaches and mentors into success, both in person and online. I will share inside the episode itself how I met Liane, because it was kind of a funny story. And honestly, this is one of those serendipitous moments where I just know that the universe was fully intending to bring us together, because it could only have happened that way, of course. And there's no way that I could have seen it on the outside. I will share all of the links that Liane mentions in the podcast in the show notes. Of course, if you want to follow up with her or you want to check out some of the products that she mentions, you can always find those links in the show notes below. And with that, my love, I'm not going to say any more because we've got a juicy, juicy interview ahead for you. Let's go ahead and press play.
Hey, there she is.
Hello, beautiful lady. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. I had to close the store to do this today. Well, that's good. I've actually been looking forward to this for the last couple of weeks. And I think it's important that we all help build each other up instead of push each other down.
Yes, I'm so excited. Our conversation is going to be so good. I'm just going to straight up, anybody listening right now, our conversation is going to go in about 1,000 directions.
Yep.
It's going to be a ride today, but it's going to be so interesting. So Liane, I shared a little bit about your history at the beginning before we jumped into this particular recording.
But share, like, what's the best 3 things for them to know about you?
Oh my goodness. The
If you were to
best three
sum up
things.
Liane in
If I
three
was going
things.
to, I'm blunt, honest, and I swear like a fucking sailor. That's me in a nutshell.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is why we're kindred spirits.
Yes, absolutely. I am too old now to give a shit what somebody else thinks. Yes, I
Yes.
just do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm here to help myself, my family, and anybody that needs me.
I love it. Tell
Yeah.
me a little bit more about, you just said, like, I'm here to do what I'm supposed to do. What does that look like for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I've been an intuitive counselor and a business owner, entrepreneur now for over 20 years. I haven't worked for anybody but me for a very long time. Um, for me, it's taking people that are lost and helping them find their path, not my path, not somebody else's path, their path, and help them walk through. I call it stepping through the mirror. It's literally looking at yourself, healing through your past trauma, letting it go because it can't hurt or help you anymore, and stepping into the gifts that it brought. And that's really hard for some people to see.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I've been learning a bit more about sort of like our relationship to the past, to your point that it doesn't help us to keep hanging on to it.
Absolutely.
What would you tell someone who comes to you and says, "Yeah, but Liane, you don't understand what happened to me. You don't understand what I went through. You don't
Ooh.
understand what this person said, did, made experience happen in my life."
Yep. So I get that a lot. And the first thing I say is, bitch, not only have I been there, done that, but I know how to make the fucking t-shirt.
Right.
So I used to get that a lot. And I figured out that the universe gave me my life story, my trials, all of the awful, god awful things that I went through in both my childhood and youth and young adulthood. If I hadn't been through that, I wouldn't have a fucking clue how to help any of these people that come to me.
Mhm.
People try all the time to go to university, learn out of a book, but then I wouldn't be able to say, hey, I know what you're feeling. I understand the pain, the shame, the inner hatred that you have for yourself, the thought that this was your fault right from the get-go. All of that, I wouldn't have a clue. I would read it, but I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't feel it. I wouldn't have empathy toward it because I didn't experience it.
Mhm.
However, I have absolutely experienced it. And so when I'm speaking with any, and for the most part, it's women, when a woman finds me and has been going through or is currently going through something like that, I literally say to her, here's my story.
Mm.
Now, this is why we relate. This is why you found me. Because not only can I say, here are some tools and tips to get you through this, because it helped me, but I can also say, darling, let it go. Here's the shoulder. I've been there. I
Mhm.
know those feelings. Let them out. No sense in feeling guilt. No sense, because we do. We feel when we charge somebody that's hurt us, we feel guilty for charging them. Hello, like there's so many things that people that have never been through traumatic experiences don't understand.
Yeah.
That no matter how wonderful they are in wanting to help, they can't, if they can't relate, it's like talking to a book.
Mhm.
And that can't help us. We have to have somebody that'll hold us accountable, show us where our responsibility does not lie and that we can let that go, and how to see it as a gift. And that was the hardest thing for me to get my head around. And it was a lady just like me that helped me. And that's what she said. She said, wrap it in a big gift box. And I was like, what? Like, this was not a gift.
Yeah.
And she said, yes, it was, because it helped give you the strength. You grabbed that strength and said, that's not going to define me.
Mhm.
And I'm going to fight my way out of this. And I'm going to become a better person because of this. So that's a gift.
Mhm.
And when I saw the shift that that made in me, because the second I started seeing it as a gift, it helped me heal it. And then it helped me help other women with it by telling my own story. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want anybody to know what I'd been through.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, lock it all up and it's gone. But now I use that to help other women go, holy shit. Okay. So you do get it. And I can talk about anything. Yes, you absolutely can. So yeah, I've been an intuitive counselor for going on 35 years.
Whoa.
Yikes. Yeah.
Whoa.
And
I love
that's my main profession. I've been working with a company online plus my own website since 2001, I think it was. And yeah, so that's quite a while. And then I opened the stores so that I could turn it towards the kids so that if we can help them first, they aren't going to get to that stage where they're broken.
Yeah.
Because we'll give them the tools now that they will see all those red flags before they even have to worry about it. So yeah.
Let's come back to that in a second, but I have a quick question first. So
Sure.
one of the things that I find so often when I listen to other people speak or other interviews, there will be a similar, I'll say, packet where they'll say, you know, I've gone through some things and then someone told me this or gave me this perspective shift and it changed everything for me.
Absolutely.
I'm going to guess that wasn't overnight. Can you talk a little bit about time as it related to that
The wake-up call? Well, it was pretty funny because in the beginning, in the start of things, I didn't want to help anybody. There was a whole life of me being literally a see you next Tuesday to anybody and everybody that I met. I didn't trust anybody. I was 1000% in my ego. The universe owed me because it let all this stuff happen to me. I was a horrible human being for a very long time. And it, believe it or not, it was a crystal that changed a lot of that for me. It was literally, I got whacked in the head with a rock. And that book is still sitting on the shelf. I haven't finished it. I will finish it. The idea that I could set aside the mistrust and start trusting again literally happened right after I met an amazing crystal. And that crystal started opening my mind. And I know that sounds really weird to somebody if they've never done crystal healing or anything like that, but these things have a vibration and it literally helped me vibrate properly. And as I started raising my vibration, I started meeting and drawing different types of people to me. And that was the kickstart, was starting to draw people to me that were like me. Right. The idea of asking for help, not happening, absolutely not going to happen. I was so broken and so screwed up and so used for so many years. I was so sure that anybody that came into my life was just here to screw me over. I didn't trust anybody. I wouldn't talk to anybody. And then I brought my mom to live with me and I needed somebody to help me with my mom. And I was absolutely positive that she was going to rip my mom off and treat me like shit. And I had a nanny cam set up, like you name it. Like I was that person. Only to discover that she was an absolutely wonderful human being. And she and I became best friends over the course of the next year and a half. And she's been my business partner now for almost 10 years.
Wow. It's amazing how when we're ready for it, even if it doesn't feel like we're ready for it, the universe can get a little tiny like finger in the door. It's like, oh, okay, we're in.
Quick.
And start like
absolutely
people to help. I love that.
Absolutely. Yep.
You touched on this a little bit. So you have your consulting and your coaching, which you do as your primary, but how you and I met was actually through your storefront. So
yes,
I'm just going to share really quick. So gosh, I think it was August. I was on a family trip out to Drumheller in Alberta, and it was actually my dad's partner who was like, I want to just pop into this mystic shop. And I'm like, mystic shop, tell me more. I talked my husband into letting us. I'm like, can we take 5 minutes and just go find it? Like, we'll pick
5 minutes
on the way and let's just sneak it. He knows it's not 5 minutes, but 5 minutes is an easier selling point than I'm like, I might be there for half an hour.
Yep.
And
totally.
My very first interaction with you, I think will just like stay locked in my head forever. I have a really good friend whose birthday had just gone by, and I was watching for her birthday gift, and I saw one of your tanks. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Most of you can't ever see me, so you don't know that I'm not so well endowed in the chestal region, and my friend has a greater resource in that area. And I was like,
a greater resource.
Can you help me? She's kind of shaped like you. Like, what size would be appropriate? Because I would hate to send her the wrong size. And that's how we met. And like, I just loved it. Our conversation that day was amazing. But what I want to touch on specifically So your store is called The Spirit Within Canada.
Yes.
And I loved not just the products that you have. I mean, the store is beautifully stuffed to the brim in like the best possible way.
Yeah,
But you
it's definitely
touched
a wow.
it is. And oh my God, like as I said, I could spend a ton of time in the store, but you touched on how you work with kids. Tell us a
Mhm.
bit more about that because oh my goodness, when you started explaining this, I'm like, where have you been my whole life? This sounds
Well, like I said, for me, it was let's help the kids now before they get all screwed up. So a lot of parents don't have the time to be with their kids. This world is different now. Whether you're a full-time both parent family or a single parent family, it doesn't matter. You still have to work. Both of you still have to work.
yeah.
So somebody else, teachers, the neighbor's mom, there's going to be somebody else that's got an influence over your child. So for me, it was, I want to be that positive influence. I want to give these kids a safe place to come and hang out after school. If they've got an afternoon off, they can come, they can learn art, they can learn whatever the heck they want. And we actually do it so that the kids can come in through the school programs, and we sign their volunteer program things, and it goes to credit for their school, and they can learn how to do whatever. So for a lot of them, art is their thing, and art is my thing. I'm a professional photographer as well as a professional digital artist. And I've been stepping into the collaborative AI art, which is where I've been working with some of these kids because it's brilliant if it's done properly.
Mhm.
And that's a whole nother conversation. But if it's done properly, then you can teach these kids that maybe might not have, especially the kids that are disabled that we work with, might not have the physical ability to paint a picture, but they have that picture in their brain. They know exactly what it would look like if they could paint it. If they had a brush in their hand and they could paint it, they would know what it would look like.
Mhm.
Well, I teach them how to take whatever is in their heads and turn it into a potential business. If they are one of those entrepreneurial spirits, by the time they graduate high school, they're running their own companies. And that's what makes me thrilled, because as you teach an entrepreneur, as you well know, as an entrepreneur, it's a special kind of mindset. Like, we don't work. We work all the time, 24/7, but we actually don't work. We're loving what we do so much that when somebody says, hey, why don't you take a day off? I would have no fucking clue what to do with an actual day off.
Oh my God, that makes me feel so much better.
Right? I have no clue because
I'm
I
like,
love
so
what
you
I do.
mean not be in my office, but I'm still thinking about my business all day long,
Exactly.
right? Like I'm still
Exactly.
brainstorming. Am I going out
Right?
to
Your
like get
brain's
inspiration?
exactly. There's always something, right? There's your brain is on overdrive all the time because we love what we do so much.
Yeah.
And the kids need to see that. They're not just working for the man. They're not just, 9 to 5 in it. And nothing wrong with McDonald's. I think it's a great idea. McDonald's, all those kind of things gives them that team building. They've got a fantastic program. I think all of that kind of stuff should absolutely be done. And if they have a passion about something specific, I don't care if it's studying ants, which is what my youngest is doing right now. So I have a house full of ants. Don't even ask. That's another whole question.
Perfect.
But it's embracing that and encouraging that. And he started working with actual scientists, and he is now a what they call a, let me just think if I can remember the word. Nope, I can't remember the word, but it's like
It'll
a
come to you.
helper, right? It's so he's helping them by studying things that are here that shouldn't have been here that he found. It's just really cool. So they've got him doing research for them,
Right.
independent researcher. That's
There
what
you
it's
go.
called. Yeah, and these couple of amazing scientists that work within the I was going to say the bug community, entomology community, something like that, have taught him, are mentoring him and taking him through different avenues so that he can actually at some point get paid for that. And
Right.
that is his passion. So to find a mentor like that is like what the kids find when they find me.
Yeah.
Is that same type of, hey, if this is something that, is your jam, let me help you
Right.
take that talent and grow it into something. And yeah, so it's amazing. So I had a whole bunch of teenagers. Am I allowed to do this now?
Of course.
Okay. So I had a whole bunch of teenagers in here tweens, I guess. They were between 13 and 16, 17. And one of the young fellas, because there's always got to be one in the group, said, "So are you just saying that you could literally paint anything and sell it online and make money?" And I'm like, yes, that's what we're actually talking about today. Specifically was painting using collaborative AI, taking an idea that you had, building a prompt that is exactly what you see in your head, and then turning it into something that you can then sell online, whether it's through print on demand or through us, because we do a lot of the printing ourselves, t-shirts like the tank top that you found, that kind of stuff. Or you can do print on demand. You can sell it through Amazon. You can create books. I can teach you how to do all of that because I've done it. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, right. Okay, paint me a mouse. So I said, well, mice aren't trending right now, but dragons are. So how about I create a dragon mouse? So we created the dragon mouse, and I know that we're on a podcast and not a video, but
we'll share the image on like the actual episode and in the show notes.
Awesome. So I created Myrtle, the dragon mouse, and I posted it online on Instagram and the dragon groups, and that's all I did. And almost overnight, we sold 4,000 calendars that I hadn't even created yet, because we only had one picture.
Right.
So by the time we were done, I had to create 11 more to make a calendar of 12 images. We named them all. We created some adorable characters, and now the kids are writing individual character stories, and we're going to turn it into a tabletop book. We're doing coffee mugs with their images on it. We've got the calendars now. We've got the individual prints that are on Fair. Like we're going to be selling them on Amazon. We've got I'm just so excited because the funds for this all go back to the community. So they come back and they pay for the paints and the brushes and the digital tablets that I teach them on and all that kind of stuff. So what started out as a complete prove it to me of one thing turned into another whole company. So, and that's what you do. Once you've got one idea, you don't throw it in and lump it in with all the other stuff that you do. You separate it into another company and you let somebody else run with it. Now you've got this one for this and this one for that, and you can focus your marketing correctly, and it's easier to track.
Yeah.
when you do it like that. So now we've got the one for animal dragons in my soup. And as we continued building that out, I'm really hoping to use the funds to eventually build what we're calling right now the maker space. And the maker space is one of our dreams, is to have enough money to be able to buy a piece of property, build a huge, humongous building on it that has the capability and all the best equipment for every type of artwork you could possibly imagine, from goldsmithing and silversmithing to pottery to clay work to photography to oil painting, watercolors, you name it, and have people in the community come in and teach in exchange for being able to use the equipment.
Right.
So so that's the big vision of where this whole thing is hopefully going to take us.
I love that so much. I can hear artists like drooling, like, oh my God, tell me where it is. How do I get there?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's so cool. It's so much fun.
You've been sharing about how you teach kids that they can make money doing anything. And I love that you're opening up this space of wisdom for them, giving them tangible, actual, like hands-on experience of what that looks like. Because I know I for sure wasn't raised being taught that you can make money doing anything. And it doesn't have to look in this like one specific sort of pathway or the specific business model. I mean, especially given the way that the economy is global in particular, is really kind of wild. Yeah. And what I would love to hear, because I know that you coach a lot of women entrepreneurs.
Yes.
As we dive into work, and one of the things that I know I've struggled with this particular business that I have now is I love the work so much, which I know probably sounds like, why would that be a struggle? Yeah. But it almost feels, I often
too easy.
Feel like I'm getting away with something. I'm like, but isn't it supposed to be hard?
Yes.
Like I feel guilty when my husband goes to work and he comes home and he's exhausted and he's like,
and you're having a blast. You're like, was so good today.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was a challenging day, but like I'm still getting to do what I want and dive into work that I
absolutely.
love. What is
Absolutely.
something that you can share with women who are finding that balance point? Like we know it's possible. We know that
Yes.
it's an experience that we can have to actually build a business doing something that we love, that it can
Yes.
be successful. And I think once we get there, maybe that dissipates a little bit, but on
It
the
doesn't ever
oh,
dissipate.
perfect. Okay, good.
It really doesn't. It
Something
really
to look
doesn't
forward
because
to.
it does feel like you're bypassing something. And that's literally the point. Okay. We are bypassing something. We are doing something that we have been told and taught our whole lives we can't do.
Mm.
We have been told by other human beings that are trying to get us to be a globe full of workers for them that we don't need to do that. We don't have to do that. And we can do for ourselves that which we love because there are other people out there that want to do it too. So for me, there are so many women that have come to me and said, well, my husband thinks this is ridiculous and I can't make a business out of it. Or my best friend is constantly telling me that I can't do this and this is not the way it's done. And she said, I feel like I'm stupid for even wanting this. Those make my skin crawl and my hair curl because we can do anything. We can talk about anything. And there is somebody out there that needs your wisdom, whether it's how to create a beautiful centerpiece with a bunch of fake flowers from Dollarama. There is a lady that does that and does a beautiful job at it. And she was told she could never do it, could never make money. She monetizes her Instagram and her Facebook, and she's learned and listened. And that's where the money comes. It doesn't actually come from, well, she does. Actually, people pay her as a coach to teach them how to do this. And she also monetizes her. So she's got multiple streams. I teach them how to be an octopus. So they might have only one thing in mind, but that one thing I can turn into 7 different streams of income. So it's understanding that when you do something like a podcast like this, you can now turn this into videos and Instagram things and Facebook things and TikTok things. And all of those things become a whole bunch of other arms and legs. You can turn it into an ebook. You can turn it into a lead magnet. You can bring all of these things into. And sometimes that is what overwhelms a lot of these women. They were like, I just wanted to make flowers,
Right.
which is awesome. And if you want to make flowers and you want to do what you love, there's still going to be the stuff we don't love. As you grow in that part of your business, you hire the people to do the stuff you don't love.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you build your team.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger your team gets, the bigger you can get. And then now you've not only started helping this other lady over here where her jam is all of your paperwork. Oh my God. I was so thrilled to find somebody that loved paperwork as much as I hated it.
And there are people that exist that actually love it.
Absolutely. And their businesses are built on what they love, right?
Yeah.
So it's finding that team and helping each other up, not out. That's what we're here for.
Yes.
So yeah, understanding the marketing behind it, that all takes time. None of this happened overnight. This is 40 years in the making.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still not where I want to be yet, but that's not going to make me stop reaching for the dream that I have. I want to leave that legacy behind. When I jump off this big mortal coil that we're on right now, I want to have the maker space up and being run by an amazing team of people for the kids.
One of the things that I think is challenging to overcome is really trusting our deepest soul calling.
Yes.
Because it so often doesn't make any fucking logical sense.
Yes.
If someone had said to me 3 years ago, Amy, you would be building a business teaching women about money, I'm like, are you on something? Because that doesn't sound like me. I don't think I'm qualified to do that. And yet I can't get enough.
Oh, qualified. That's hilarious. That's another one. Qualified is a huge thing that we all get caught up in. Qualifications is the fact that you have lived your life and you're not bankrupt.
And if you've got At some
tips and
point
tricks.
in your money story, become bankrupt and gone through that.
Absolutely.
on
Did
the
that
other
too.
side. Yeah.
1000%. And now
Yeah.
that gives you more knowledge on
Yeah.
this is what happened and this is how I got through that.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, literally, if the universe, I swear I was born and the universe said, this person has to help a whole shit ton of people. We have to put her through hell in order to figure it all out so that when somebody comes that's been battered, abused, assaulted, bankrupt, if you can think it, I have walked that path and I have survived it and I've gotten out of it. And now I use that knowledge to help women just like me navigate the same trenches. Because, man, if I can get through what I've been through, fuck, so can you.
Yeah.
So can you. Don't let it define
you. As long as
you.
we haven't died, we haven't yet quit the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to touch on, and then I want to dive into a few other topics, but
Sure.
I mean, you've been in business. We just talked about monetizing just about anything.
Yep.
You've talked about all the experiences that you've had. Share with us in whatever context you feel comfortable. Share with us your money story. What was money like growing up? How did you learn about it? How did you build into it? How have you experienced and expanded your wisdom and knowledge with money from the moment you came out squalling to
to now? Well, as a young, let's go to a young person. So before the tweens, I had already had a horrific experience that twisted the way I looked at the world. So at that point, I figured that the universe owed me for what it had allowed to happen to me. So I was a thief. I could steal from my grandmother and did, from my mother without problems. We didn't have a lot of money. My dad was in the Air Force, so he was gone, and mom was raising 4 kids on the pittance that the Air Force gives their people that are putting their lives on the line, which just that's another whole story I'm mad at. Anyway, and it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter. I didn't give a shit about anybody but myself for a very, very long time. And by the time I was a young adult, probably before I got married and had my son, Michael, my firstborn, I had already figured out that I was an amazing salesperson. I was an amazing salesperson because at that point I still hadn't gotten rid of my bad ego, and I hadn't healed through any of that. So I was still I think that psychopaths or sociopaths can be made because I had zero conscience. Zero. I could tell you that you needed that ice cube maker while you had 7 tons of ice in your backyard. I could sell you the ice cube maker. It didn't matter as long as it had something in it for me. I was successful at it. And there was zero guilt. I had no guilt. I had no conscience. In my opinion, at that time in my life, I didn't have a conscience. So money was only something that was owed to me because it would make my life easier. And universe had a habit of making my life really not easy. So the more not easy it got, the more I thought it owed me. And it wasn't until years and years later, I had already been divorced, and was mothering 2 amazing young men, again, without conscience. So think about that for a minute. That's another whole very deep story, because the emotions weren't there, but I was very good at faking it. And it wasn't until I started my artwork and started selling art, my photography all over the world, something inside me shifted when a friend of mine sent me a piece of rock. And at that time I was dating somebody that picked my son up and threw him across the room. And something inside of me snapped open. And I went from this horrible, selfish human being to mama bear instantly. And it changed my whole life. It changed my whole life. And could it have been just that one instance? Sure, it could have been. I think it was both, because I'd already started working with the crystal and I'd already started starting to feel guilt around where I was, what I was doing. How could I make this better? How could I make myself feel better? How could I be better for the kids? Those thoughts had already started, which I'd never had in my whole life before. It was always about me, just me. So those all started sneaking in. And then when this happened, I think it just literally blew the last doors off of whatever was holding my conscience hostage. And yeah, it changed my whole life. I stood up for the first time in my life. I left that situation, which was scary and horrible, and to this day still gives me PTSD that I work through usually while I'm working with somebody that's going through it. It brings it all back up for me and it helps me every time. Mm-hmm. So that's part of helping somebody else, is it helps heal you at the same time. It's so important. So as soon as I divorced my husband, I ended up going bankrupt. Everything, I mean, he held it all up in court for the first year. So there was nothing coming in, no money. I hadn't worked in 5 years. I'd been at home with the kids. And so all the credit cards were in my name. Now I'm unemployed. I've got 2 kids on my own. Like, well, this is the scariest decision I ever made in my life, was to just go. And everybody thought I was nuts, because this was a great man and had money, and we had a big house and a white picket fence and 2.5 kids and the dog and all that shit that we're told is going to make us happy. Mm-hmm. Only to discover that, no, that was not a me thing, not a me place. And it is the biggest gift I was ever given, because it grew my brain, grew my conscience. I went bankrupt. I had to learn budgeting. I had to learn all of that stuff from scratch. At that point, I was 30. So this is 30 years ago. And I started making decent money properly with caring and heart and feeling and authenticity, right, which I didn't know what that was until it bit me in the ass. Like and then I started telling my story. And as I started actually helping girls that I had met through work, I stepped back into where the intuitive part had been a part of my childhood, and I squished it. And I stepped back into that and started opening myself up to spirit and soul and God, goddess, universe, and studying and learning, and together with money, because it goes together, whether people like to see it or not. Mm-hmm. Money is energy. That's all it is. It doesn't actually exist. It is just energy. It is one thing for me to give to you, and then you give me something back. It is simply an energy exchange that we've been doing for centuries and centuries and millennia. And somebody decided to put on a dollar bill instead, or on a toonie, or they've created a thing, a tangible thing. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't exist. It's just energy. So once I realized that, everything again shifted. The money that comes in, the universe will never let me starve. Sure can feel like it at times. And what I have discovered is, if I'm honest with myself in those moments, those really scary, holy crap times only came when I was doubting myself. When I was doubting where I was going and what I was doing, because I was listening to somebody else's bullshit in my ear telling me I couldn't do it, and I started buying their crap. The second that happened, my business would start to tank. Mm. And it was somebody on my team that would say, Liane, hello, practice what you preach much. Like, you're telling us that this is the universe will never let us starve. So why are you so worried? Get out of your head. Go do what you preach. Go do what you tell us to do. Create. Get out of your head. Don't worry about it. It'll all work out. Paint something. So I would go through my mantra in my head, and I would sit down and I'd start painting. And sure as shit, I'd be like maybe halfway through a painting, and bang, the solution to whatever that problem was there. Mm-hmm. And I had nothing to worry about. And it happened time after time after time after time. And does that mean that I am 100% every time? No, because I'm a human being and I forget and I get panicked. I find out something like my son is going blind, and all of a sudden I'm shouting at the universe again, and what the fuck, and how am I going to do this, and how am I going to do that? And as soon as I start doing that, the business dies. It gets super quiet in here because of the energy that I am magnetizing to myself. Fear, worry, doubt. Those will tank any career just like that.
How do you shift those, especially when, because I mean, there's so many teachers, and I was actually listening to Abraham Hicks this morning as I was having my coffee. Yeah, like there's so many teachers who talk about, like you draw
just
in,
stay positive.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, but like sometimes you just kind of get taken out of left field, or you wake up and you're like, I just kind of feel like I want to punch somebody, and I don't know. How do you shift? And I want to actually be a bit more specific still, is when you are experiencing the reflection of your reality. Something in your business isn't going well, something in your life isn't going the way you wanted it to, and you are embroiled in the doubt, and you are so fucking deep in the fear that you can't see your way out of it. How do you shift those?
There is a mantra that I teach all my students. I've been teaching it now since The Rock showed up in my life. Which is called Oralite 23, by the way. So you can let people know if they want it, they can get it here or email us or whatever.
Okay.
The mantra that came through the teachings of that crystal is, it's a complete reboot of your brain. It's like looking at yourself as if you were a computer. And I mean, you hear people talking about the Matrix and all of this stuff, and it made me giggle because this is literally what I saw in my head. Like, it was the strangest thing to see what infinite really means, because it's mind blowing. Like when you allow yourself to go there, your mind fucked. But the mantra is super simple. I have everybody write it on their bathroom mirrors. A lot of people won't do it. If they don't do it, it's not going to help them. There's a reason why I have them write it out. And it's the same reason that you were told in school, when you write something down, it sticks. Okay. Also, when you're brushing your teeth, you can't help but read it. So even if you're embroiled in whatever, you're going to notice it. And then you're going to start doing the mantra because it's right fucking there. That's why I have them do it like that. If you use a window writer, it washes off. I say wash it off every week and put it back on again. Wash it off every week, put it back on again, and do it every morning and every night permanently. Don't let it stop once life gets good, because guess what happens? We forget and we go back to where we were. It's just like taking the braces off, right? If you don't keep them protected, they're going to go back the way they were. It's the same thing with that. If you forget the mantra, start it over again. Every single day. And the success rate is astronomical. I've got people coming in all the time saying, oh my God, I did it. I've done it for 30 days and my whole life's changed. Excellent. Don't stop. Because if you stop it, that reboot stops too. And we start downloading viruses, which are who, what, when, where, why, wish, and wonder. Anything that start with those, you've got no control over. So when we worry about any of those, look, a W word, worry about any of those, we magnetize it right to us.
Right.
So am I saying don't do anything? No, I'm not saying that. You still have to take action on your daily job. You still have to do whatever it is that you like and love. I want you to do it more of that, because that creativity is the energy exchange between you and the universe. So it doesn't matter if it's singing. It doesn't matter if you can carry a tune in a basket or not. You can't sing and worry at the same time, right? So make yourself a playlist of all your favorite songs that you know the words to, and put it on and sing and sing and sing and just sing, because you can't think. At the same time, the universe is like, oh, quick, grab the keys. She's given us a moment. And the universe will bring the solution to you. And sometimes, 99% of the time, it will be a solution that you could not possibly have thought of yourself. And that's my point, because a human being can only see 5 or 6 different solutions to any given problem, especially when you're in the middle of it. For instance, I had a client, and she came into the store for a session with me, and I gave her the mantra, and I was telling her, and she was just like a cat on a hot tin roof. She couldn't sit still. She was just freaked right out. Finally, she's pissed. And she goes, I can't believe I just wasted whatever my fee at that time was on this ridiculous mantra. And and she got up and she was mad. But I'd had her repeating it with me. So as she gets to the door, swearing and cursing at me as she went, I said, say it for me one more time. So she turns around and she spat the mantra at me. She had it, and I don't recommend that this is how you do things, because it's shifted her focus from the worry and fear that she had to her anger at me. I would rather you do it creatively by painting a pretty picture or singing. It works much better. However, she took off, and she, just before she got to the end of the hallway where she would have left the building, I heard her cell phone ring. And the next thing I know, I hear her crying. And I didn't move. And probably took her 5 minutes to get herself together. And then she came into the store and she said, I am so sorry. And I was like, what happened? And she said, that was my sister calling to tell me that my grandmother just issued checks to all the grandkids, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, yes, it does work. And to see it work that quickly in that moment was magical.
Right.
And she said, can you explain to me why that worked? And I said, yeah, because you shifted. That's literally my license plate, is shift it. Shift it.
Yes.
As soon as your brain shifted from the worry that was going on to something else, like I said, make it something creative. And this particular thing, her anger at me, worked. It shifted her enough that she was pissed off enough to be thinking about me in that moment and not her worry.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave the keys back to the universe, back to God, whatever you want to say. Let go, let God is being said for a reason. Everything that you need is within you, and your attachment, your energetic attachment, is because you're a piece of this universe. You're a piece of God. So when we connect that all back together, no matter what your belief system is, you are a child of the universe. So as long as you're running that program, I am happy and I have nothing to worry about, because I know the universe has got my back. How do I know that? Because I'm the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to let me fail. So get out of my head, get out of the worries, create something amazing, and let the problem solve itself. And it will.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get a phone call saying, oh, by the way, I need to hire you to do this, this, and this. And you'll go, I would never have seen that one coming. Right? That's how my first deck of cards, the first time I got hired to do a deck of tarot cards artistically, was in the middle of one of these holy shits, because I had just spent the money for the rent at Christmas time and realized that I only had a week and a half left before the rent was due. Oh, shit. And I started flipping out. How am I going to do this? Where is it going to come from? Who's going to help me? Right? All those viruses. Mm-hmm. And what should have been our busiest season just died. Until my team said, Liane, stop thinking, go paint something. And I was, again, halfway through a painting and the phone rang, and it was a lady saying, I've seen your artwork and I would love to hire you to do a deck of oracle cards for us. I was like, okay, what'll it take to get you started? And I gave her a dollar amount, which was exactly what I was missing for the rent, and bang.
When you're in those moments and I want to just be clear. So something that I know I've struggled with at times. I'm not a painter. I enjoy painting, but I'm not a painter. For those of us who are creative in different ways, you're not saying, hey, you need to become a painter. You're saying, go do something that feels in your joy.
Yes.
That draws your attention, that you can't help but focus on.
Absolutely.
I reminded myself recently that I absolutely love puzzling. I love doing puzzles. I'm like, why am I not doing that? Oh, right. Because I've been focusing on these other things. And when I actually just sit down and I pop some quiet music on and I light a candle because it's fun. And then I like turn some lights on so I can actually see my puzzle pieces. But like, it's amazing what comes through. And sometimes solutions will come through while I'm doing that. And sometimes it will come through completely like 4 days later or something.
Exactly.
But are you in that moment? Like when you're like, okay, I need to just step out and go do this thing. Are you
Yeah.
repeating the mantra to yourself at that time?
You can, yes. The mantra is quite long, but there is a mini version. So let me run you through the big mantra. It simply starts with, I am fantabulous. So I am fantabulous. I chose that word because it's fabulous and fantastic put together. And it makes you feel silly. And in the beginning, every single human being that's ever done it says, I feel ridiculous saying this to myself. Good, because that means you're still in your ego. Let's get you out of your ego so that you can laugh at yourself. So I tell you to do it first thing in the morning, before you've brushed your teeth, before you've brushed your hair. So you're standing on and looking like a fir tree in a fit. You look ridiculous. I want you to look yourself right in the peepers and say, I am fantabulous. That's going to make you laugh. Laughter is the best medicine for a reason. It raises your vibration. So even if it's just I'm feeling really silly, after a while, you start feeling really good. After a few days of doing this, by day 6 or 7, you're like, you know what? I am fantabulous. Booyah, I got this. And it just starts building. So the first one is, I am fantabulous. That's your on switch. The next line is, I am grateful for the fact, and there's a reason why I say I am grateful for the fact, because just like in a computer system, when you type in fact, you'll get fact back. You type in gobbledygook, you're going to get gobbledygook back. Okay, so you're stating a fact that lets and reminds the universe, which you are a part of, exactly what that is. Okay, I am grateful for the fact that my past, and this is going to be hard for some of them to hear, I've had people burst into tears as soon as I've said it. So I am grateful for the fact that my past has led me to my present and I hold no regrets. That's a tough one. Because for a lot of people, they're looking back there and they're holding regrets. I was holding regrets for all of the shit that I did when I was a horrible human being. Absolutely. So guess what you do now? You make up for it. You can't change that. So stop looking there. All you can do is be better from this moment on. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, right now. Start making those changes every single moment of your day. Make up for it. So there's your first reboot. I call that the defrag. It's just like in a computer. You've been running this computer your whole life. It is so fucked up and full of parasites and viruses and malware that all of your systems are kajumbled. So we're going to fix it all. Now we're going to dump your recycle bin. I am grateful for the fact that I'm no longer at the effect of my past. I use the S because we don't live linearly. That's a human concept. Time is not linear. It is infinite. All right. So for all lifetimes, there's a word I'm looking for that I've just everything.
It'll come to you. The multiverse, whatever it is.
The multiverse, whatever you want to call it, whatever that looks like for you. That is now dumping your recycle bin. Okay. That's like all the stuff that you've tried to delete out of your head and it keeps coming back because you stick it in the recycle bin and you don't freaking flush it. So let's flush it. Poof, gone. So now you're a brand new system. All right. This is a brand new shiny system inside. Only one operating system, and it's not Windows and it's not Mac. It's I am grateful for the fact that I am happy. That's it. That's really how easy it is. Because when you are happy, everything in your life works. Your finances, that energy works. Your family, that energy works. Your friendships and relationships, that energy works. When you're happy, the universe knows that everything just needs to fucking work. So then there's something that everybody forgets. Like I listen to people talk about The Secret and all of these other gurus, which are great. I am not a guru by any stretch of the imagination. I just know what worked for me. And now that I bring it to my clients, it's working for them. So I don't know what I did or what I deserve to have the right answer maybe once in my life, but it's helping other people. So we forget we need malware protection and virus protection. We need it on our computers all the time. We listen to televisions that download negativity. We listen to news stations that download negativity. We listen to politics and the bullshit that's going on around the planet in countries that we cannot do anything for yet. All of that negativity is virus and malware in us, and it stops us from being our best selves. I am grateful for the fact that I have nothing to worry about. Now, everybody thinks, well, not everybody, but a lot of people think that means being selfish. Yes. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not the same kind of, I'm a horrible human being selfish. It is if I don't have my shit together and I haven't put my own mask on first, how the fuck am I supposed to help anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
I can't, because I'm a basket case. So I help me first. I take everything that I can and I don't have to worry about it. I am good. I have enough food. I have clothes on my back. I have a roof over my head. I am good. I am happy. When I'm happy, now I can give back. Now I've got that chance. That's why entrepreneurs like us want to make more money, not because I want a house on the hill with white picket fence. Had that, does not make me happy. Let me tell you. I want to be able to travel the world helping women. In order for me to get from here to there, I need money, because, nobody's just going to give me an airplane. In order to do those things, that also held me back for years. People said, oh my God, you charge so much. Yeah. That took me a long time to be able to say yes, and I'm worth it. I'm worth it because I lived that life. And now the tools that I have learned can help you. And if you think you're not worth that, that's something I can't help you with. Right. So I'm $333 American an hour to talk to. So when I share part of my life with you, that's what I'm doing. I am sharing that energy exchange with you. Right. So people go, oh my God, $333. Well, you could get me on Keen, because I work there in the evenings to help as many people as I can, just do quick little readings and quick little connections. And when I do that, I'm between $15 and $20 a minute American. So you can go there if you want. But all of that kind of stuff and my coaching programs and all that stuff, that's how I get to keep doing what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm in a little store in Drumheller and I am reaching women all over the world. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't do that if I didn't value what I've been through.
Right.
Right. So you wouldn't ask your doctor or your lawyer to do something for free.
Actually, lots of people would.
Yes.
Let's just call a spade a spade. Lots of people would.
Those people definitely get, valuing yourself means being able to invest in yourself. And that was a hard one for me. The first time I ever hired a coach was like, holy crap. Mm-hmm. Holy crap.
I want to touch on that. And then I'm going to ask if you can just say the mantra as one bit for us. But
you bet.
Something that I want to just very quickly touch on. I know that at different times of my life, and definitely when I was in my 20s, I really struggled with this idea of you have to be willing to invest in yourself, because you're the thing that's going to be there the whole way through. And I'm like, but I'm fucking broke. I don't have $5 extra. Yep. Something that I want to just share for all of our listeners is that investing in ourselves. So in this context, you're saying, hey, look, if you work with me, it's an investment. There is an exchange, and that exchange is this pile of money that you transfer to me. Right. But investing in yourself isn't just doing it in that way. It's not just enrolling in programs. It is things like listening to this podcast. It is things like picking up a book or opening up to a conversation with somebody new or asking questions. These are all ways that I think there's a really beautiful tie with the word of invest being related to money, because it is, of course, how we see
because that's what we've been taught. Yep.
Correct.
Absolutely.
But it also doesn't have to look like a specific monetary exchange. I read books on the library app. I get them for free. They're amazing. It's on my phone. I take it anywhere 100%. I go, and it doesn't cost me anything. And I have access to all this wisdom and knowledge.
Absolutely. And there are amazing coaches, myself included, that do tons of free stuff online. I've got a free coaching Facebook group so that when women come there, and men, it's for anybody. Mm-hmm. There's files in there. There's stuff that I've got that when I go, oh my God, this is great, blah, 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 then it goes up there. That's all time. Right. So investing in yourself means taking time for self-care, giving yourself half an hour just to go have a bath and just let go of the shit from the day. Those are all things that are massively important to invest in yourself. It's just like I said, you've got to put your own mask on first, or you're useless to anybody else. Mm-hmm. Throwing money at something isn't going to solve anything for you.
Yeah.
What you need to do is start with yourself. Start with that inner work, and the inner work is free. You do it for yourself. Doing your shadow work's free. You can learn how to do all of that in our free Facebook group. You can go online to my TikTok, there's files all over the place that I put up there. I do blog posts on Keen, all that stuff that I do for free. Because you've got to give value so that people understand who you are, what you actually represent, so that it's not about this. I mean, this is what keeps the roof over my head and lets me go help other people do stuff for free.
Mhm.
Right? So those that can't afford it at that moment in time still have the time to build what they need to. And once they've got that off, then they'll go, oh my God, I learned this and I'm monetizing this now. I've learned this from her and this is making me money now. And now I can invest in this mentorship program or this whatever.
Yeah.
And it might not be with me. I don't care who it's with, as long as you get yourself a good coach at some point when you're ready. And I say that loosely because 90% of us really balk at the idea of having somebody coach us. I know I did. I got fired from my first coach because I kept pushing against the system that he had in place. And it was the best thing that he could have done for me, as is everything that's challenging.
Yeah.
By the time you come out the other end, you're like, oh, that's why he did that. Okay, I get it.
That's what that's about.
That's right. That's what and then you get a client just like you were, and you go, oh, fuck. Yep. Firing this one. Hopefully she'll figure that out later on.
Yeah.
But like I did. But you just never know. Like, they're all on their own journeys and you can only do what you can do.
Totally.
So I try.
Anybody
That's
who
hilarious.
doesn't believe that the universe has a sense of humor.
Absolutely.
Like,
Liane needs to pee. So let's
what
just
is
clean it all up.
happening?
That is so funny.
I'm just going to put it out here. Anybody
Oh,
from
that's
Zoom,
funny.
if you're listening and you want to sponsor this podcast, I will be very open to having that be a thing.
Right.
Oh my
Too
goodness.
funny.
Okay, so
Huh?
I'm going to pick up the thread that we were chatting about for those of you listening into the podcast. Liane has been very patient with me as we've been like navigating through the Zoom rooms, and my computer, I swear, was sending up smoke signals. So we were talking about investing in ourselves. And I just wanted to add in that we think of investing in ourselves as self-care is a big one, of course. Investing in programs and coaches, also very big, very powerful, really great ways to do that. But something that a little reframe that dropped in while we were having the conversation that I wanted to share, and I never thought about it this way. I'm going to say we as the collective, because I don't do this. I don't watch the news. I talk a lot about why I don't watch the news or read the news or listen to the news. But we all have our thing. We watch the news, or we scroll through social media, or we, I don't know, sit and people watch and judge people. Whatever it is, we have our thing that we are immersed in. If we were to take even 10% of that time and shift our focus into something that is specifically helping us grow, that is investing in us.
1000%.
If we can shift how we think about, I know lots of people talk about like the doom scrolling, and it's called that way for a reason. But if we kind of think about it as every time I spend focused on this, I am investing in myself through this news feed, through the social media feed, through this whatever that isn't actually helping, but it is still investing in myself. And I wonder if we create that shift, if that can help some folks out. Now, I asked you before, and I'm going to ask you again now that we've got our technology sorted out. Also, my microphone is doing a funny thing. Can you give us tell us the mantra? Just share the mantra
whole thing
in one full thing. I love the explanation, by the way. So powerful.
Right? People get it because we're in the 21st century now, right? So they understand computers a little bit more. So I think that's why it came to me the way it did. At that point, I really didn't know anything about computers, so I was kind of lost. Anyway, so the main mantra goes like this. First thing in the morning, before you go to bed, before you brush your teeth, look at yourself in the eyes and repeat after me. I am fantabulous. I am grateful for the fact that my past has led me to my present, and I hold no regrets. I'm grateful for the fact that I am no longer at the effect of my pasts. I am grateful for the fact that I am happy, and I am grateful for the fact that I have nothing to worry about. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That, in a nutshell, over the course of time, helps you reboot your brain back down to brass tacks. The only thing that matters is that you are happy. That is not being selfish. That is saying, I'm investing in me so that I am putting my mask on first. I am going to pull all my shit together so that now I've got the capability, the strength and the fortitude, as well as the compassion and the empathy to help somebody else. And that's how you get that back. That's that big circle. You're doing it for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons, not for, woo, what's coming to me. It's what can I give out? And as I'm giving that out, I'm helping heal myself. Mm-hmm. And it comes back in watching these people blossom right in front of your face. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what you're teaching, how to hit a golf club or a golf ball, how to teach your 10-year-old how to bat, how to skate, how-tos are the biggest thing that are being looked for that we can help with. If you know how to something, anything, you can sell that online and build a business around helping somebody else learn. Mm-hmm. That's what this is all coming down to. Mm-hmm. We are supposed to be sharing our knowledge with others, and no matter what the universe says, bad guys, I don't know what else to call them, ideologies of making us work for everybody else. When we start helping each other, this whole world becomes a how-to. And we become, guess what? A community, a global community of people helping people to help people. And that's the mantra for the store. That's literally what we're all about.
I love it.
So when you do the mini mantra is when I call it the itty bitty shitty committee that we all have in our brains.
Yes.
Right? Whether it's for self-sabotage or self-doubt or imposter syndrome, or I don't know enough, or I don't know anything, or I don't, whatever. If you've lived more than 20 years, you've got something you can teach. If you're learning, you've got something you can teach. The second you've learned it, you can teach it. Like, that's literally what it's all about. Mm-hmm. So the mini mantra is what I have people repeat over there while they start falling into their creative moment. All right. So it's like, oh my God, I've got to get out of my head. I'm going to go sing. When you sing, you actually can't say the mantra out loud because you're singing. Eventually you fall into the singing, you start enjoying it. That's the moment that you let go of the keys and the universe is allowed to drive again. I am grateful for the fact that I am happy and I have nothing to worry about. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You repeat that over and over and over in your head as you start painting, or as you start drawing, or as you start writing, or as you start puzzling, until you fall into what you're doing and enjoy it. And then all of a sudden, poof, you're in that moment. The worry's gone. The universe is driving and the solution will show up. Mm-hmm. It's that quick.
Mm-hmm. I love that. To close this out before we pop into a different question that I have, I've been reading Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. Have you ever?
Cool. I have heard it. I've never read it.
It's a fascinating book. I highly recommend it. Cool. When I first heard it, someone's like, it's a bit advanced. I'm like, well, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. It's really, and it pairs perfectly with your computer programming example that you shared. So
quantum metaphysics. Lots of people talking about it now. Yep.
What I enjoyed that the author talks about, he actually talks about worry, and worry is literally like, he basically, there's a chapter in there, and I think I'll do a full podcast episode about this, but I'm testing some things with it right now, is worry is literally envisioning.
Yep.
But you're envisioning the worst possible case scenario.
Absolutely. And magnetizing it.
Correct. And I'm like, why? Who thought that this was a good idea? Somebody somewhere was like, we should worry instead of like just picture what we want happening.
Exactly.
Once that reframe came in, I'm like, oh my God, you're totally correct. Because I know that I've definitely had times, especially when things are really tough, or I'm struggling through something, or I just feel like a bitch and I just want to punch somebody where I'm like, there's nothing about me that feels happy. Yep. There's nothing about me right now. And it's not that there aren't things to be happy about. Sometimes we just are in, like, I'll call it black energy. We're just dark space.
Yep. Lights are out. Yep.
And there's gifts that come in that. But when I realize, I'm like, oh my God, worrying is literally the same thing. And so I'm toying right now with, like, what if I didn't change anything about the tone? I just changed the topic. So instead of like, oh my God, like,
what if I can't pay my bills this month? And what if this happens? And I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my God. But like, what if I make so much money this month and I just help so many people and like all this stuff happens, so that
exactly.
I'm not trying to change a whole bunch of things. It doesn't like, I'm not fake feeling happy, but
Yep,
it's kind of comical, like sort of in the same way that you're like,
absolutely.
I am fantabulous. It's a little silly. And it is
It
a little
is
silly, but it gets your brain thinking
a
in some good
hundred
things.
percent, 100%. You betcha.
Now, you said something before the very first time that we actually hit record on the podcast. We were talking about, I want to touch on this a little bit further now. We were talking about balancing life and work, and you said something
Mhm,
that I loved so much that I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I remembered to bring you back to it.
mhm.
So you were sharing a bit about your family, and you said, this is why self-doubt is vastly important. Love to
There's,
have you talk about that further because I think that we only see doubt as a bad thing.
yep,
I think that we're taught that it's a lack of faith.
yep.
And the way you described it, I'd love for you to share because I think it's actually a really great way to see that doubt also has a benefit within it.
Absolutely. It's our own, I hope we never lose our self-doubts because it keeps us humble. It absolutely keeps us humble. If if you think you're all that in a bag of chips, um, all the time, then you step back into ego. And that was something that I absolutely refused to do because I remember who I was when I lived there in myself. And it's not a happy place. I don't want to go back there. The universe has a very sick sense of humor. And the reason I believe that the universe has a sick sense of humor is because you're the universe. So for me, my universe, I'm my universe. I, just so you know, have a very sick sense of humor. So of course, that's what I'm going to get back. Right. So when everything's going good, what's one of the things that we say? We've been saying it forever. Uh-oh, things are going so great, something's bound to happen.
Correct. When does
Well,
the
you
other shoe
just
fall?
fucking magnified that right to you the second you think it, the moment it pops into your head. I'm like, no, negate, stop. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm happy
Please
and I have
cancel
nothing
that
to worry
order.
about. Cancel, cancel. Because I can feel the universe going, oh, yes, and we got another opportunity. So things were going really, really good. And then they weren't. And that's when you start doubting everything. You start looking at yourself and you got to look around and say, what's important? It really brings you into this moment. And we found out that my youngest is going blind. And I was like, what the actual fuck? Like everything that I have been through, and now you're going to throw this at us now too. And now he's like, who did he piss off? Like, so yeah. So you start doubting everything. You start looking at, am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be with him? Am I supposed to be running my shop? Am I supposed to be coaching other people? Should I? You've got to remember your focus, and your focus should always be you first. Put your own mask on first. Get your shit together. Then your family, your kids, your husband, your spouse, your dog, your pets, all of those. Then your business. The universe will not let you starve if you allow the flow and allow yourself to be open to that which is coming in. A lot of us block it right off. We don't want help, right? All those years I went without help because I literally thought I deserved that for what I had done. So I literally went from one extreme to the other extreme. And the fact is, we need balance.
Mhm.
You need to be able to flow with it. So yeah, my new tagline is stay flowy because everything's going to come good, bad, ugly, and otherwise. It's going to help make you stronger. You're going to grow within your own rights and your own strengths to do what you love, helping other people. And it all starts with helping yourself, period. You can't do shit unless you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I am worth this. Let's fight for it. And that's where it starts. And
I'd
it
love to.
all starts with self-doubt.
Yeah.
It all starts with looking in that mirror going, I don't know if I can do this.
I
I don't
think
know if I want to do
honestly,
this.
so it's so funny. Like everything that we've been taught since we were kids. I mean, I'm very curious of kids nowadays. I always feel like an old person. I'm like, these
I
kids
know,
nowadays.
right?
But like, I'm curious what kids
Walked up
now
and
are
downhill
being taught.
backwards.
Yes, about emotions. I know that
Mm,
when I was young, and heck, even as an adult, I was taught that emotions
generally aren't okay. Bad emotions, and I don't use bad normally, but bad is what it was taught. Bad
Yep.
emotions, sadness, loneliness, anger,
Yep.
wanting to do
Don't
something
show
for
it.
yourself, all those things were not okay.
Yep.
And what I've come to realize is very often, if we're open to now, sometimes an emotion just fucking sucks. Okay. Like,
Yep.
let's just call a spade a spade. There's nothing to
Yep.
be learned about there. There's nothing great about it. You're just like, this fucking blows and I'm
Yep.
over it like yesterday.
Yep.
But often I think, especially things like self-doubt, can offer us the opportunity to maybe look for a little nudge.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe see like, well, can I sometimes I practice, for example, like if I were my own coaching client, what would
Yep.
I tell myself?
Yep.
What
Yep.
would that be?
100%. Yep.
And I think that we can leverage those things. What I do want to ask your thoughts on. So my audience is primarily women. I think that in particular, I don't think this, I know this. We are socially conditioned as women to be the servers, to
Yes.
put everybody and everything in front of us.
Yep.
There's a reason that there's such strong messaging coming through the world right now of put on your own oxygen mask first. Self-care is more than just having a bath, but a bath is definitely part of it.
Yep.
There's a lot of this coming through, but I think that as we are that still initial wave of women and the generations coming up between you and I and behind me and like
Mm-hmm.
we still are breaking down what this means. We're still,
Absolutely.
and it's not that men don't have this. Men have different conditioning, but I would love to hear if you were addressing let's say you were addressing a room full of women
Mm-hmm.
and they're on board. They're like, okay, Liane, logically, I understand. I got to put my own oxygen mask on first. I got it. I'm with you. And then Tuesday happens and like their kid needs new braces and their
Yep.
husband needs something else and
Yep.
their clients are calling with whatever else. And they're like, okay, well, that's okay. I'll do this thing for myself later. What
Yep.
would you share with the audience that you could potentially say, like, how can you maybe not push yourself off? How can you actually prioritize yourself and what
Even
might
in
that
the
look
midst,
like?
even in the midst of chaos, you have to be able to prioritize yourself. Even when it's all of that, it doesn't need to be 2 hours of whatever. When you're in the middle of chaos, I love chaos, just so you know. Block, delete. No,
Yeah.
not that kind of chaos, the right kind of chaos, the creative chaos.
Yes.
At the same time, life happens. We're human beings. We're living on this planet. Shit's gonna happen. It just does. Sometimes more than normal. When one of those more than normal days hits, you still have to put your own mask on first. And it's really hard for the servers of this world, which are 99.9% female, saying, oh my God, I've got to do this first. I got to do this first. You can take 5 minutes. You can take 5 minutes and teach yourself. I don't know if most people have heard of Mind Valley, but there's YouTube. You can go to just about anywhere and do a 5-minute meditation where it just you can do a spritz of your favorite perfume and just take a breath. Do your box breathing. I don't care what it is. 5 minutes is all it takes, because when we talk self-care in the middle of chaos, what I'm usually talking about is you need to breathe, woman, because you can't fucking hear shit. You're not going to see anything that's coming to you in form of aid because you're still so in your head. Mm-hmm. So that moment of self-care can be get the fuck out of your head, right? And sometimes it only takes a split second. And then you deal with what you've got to deal with. You breathe through it. You run the mini mantra through your head a bajillion times while you're getting the kid ready for the braces, for the thing, right? There's still going to be chaos. Being able to breathe through it is 99.9% of the trick to it. Mm-hmm. is stepping in that I'm grateful for the fact that I'm happy and I have nothing to worry about. Even when you're not happy, it's not a fake it till you make it. It's 99% of the time, if you can look yourself in the eyes and say, I'm doing what I love. I wake up every morning. I'm alive. I have the most wonderful children. I have a husband that loves me, or a partner that loves me, or a dog that loves me, or a cockatoo that like whatever. That is leaps and bounds above what a lot of other people don't have.
Mhm.
So just counting your blessings every moment helps you remember you are happy. You might not feel it because there's chaos going on right now, but when you break it all down, yeah, I am happy. And then step into each little bite-sized morsel until you're back to that. Okay, now I can breathe because I really don't have anything to worry about. Everything just, my husband sold the motorcycle. There's the braces. Right? Like it's all gonna connect, and it won't connect as long as you're holding on to those reins.
Yeah.
So that's why that mantra is so important. That is why saying something like, I am grateful for the fact that I'm happy and I have nothing to worry about. Both of those play a huge, there's the worry. We know it. Let's acknowledge it. And let's see it for what it is. It's a virus to your system. It is literally going to bring in and magnetize all that shit right to you. So you want to say, I don't have anything to worry about. That is literally what will kickstart the whole antivirus program and keep it running, so that the I'm happy program can run without interference.
I love that.
And life is still going to happen.
Life is still going to happen. I mean, until maybe some like beautiful moment in the future where we've stopped waiting for the other shoe to fall. There's always going to be that little piece in the background. I do want to just maybe add in that, and I'm drawing from my own experience, because there has been times in my life where I felt almost entirely unloved, where I felt there wasn't I didn't love my job. I wasn't doing work that I was thrilled about. I had a car that was like falling apart, or where there's it's so easy to look into just the sphere of my life and go, well, how can I choose happiness? There's nothing to be happy about. And what I would challenge anybody who's hearing this and feeling that way, there's always something. And
there is.
We are, I think, often misled to believe that happiness has to be certain specific trappings in life.
Right.
Happiness
Absolutely.
is actually a choice. And the times that I'm really struggling, which FYI still happens now, and my life is pretty fucking good, and I have a pretty amazing husband, and like there's lots of great things. The times that I'm really struggling, when I'm completely overwhelmed, when I just can't seem to shake out of whatever the low vibe is, I just close my eyes. I might put my hands on my chest, or like clench my hands into fists, if that's what and I just repeat to myself, I am okay.
Yes.
I am okay. Everything is okay. The world is not crashing down around me right now. I am okay. And when I remember it, happiness is available to me.
Yes.
Because sometimes there isn't necessarily something that I'm seeing, because of course our brain can only show us what we're filtering for.
Absolutely.
If we're struggling, we can't see the things that like could bring us. But if we remind ourselves, hey, happiness is available for me. It's there. It's ready. It's when I'm ready for it, universe will be like, here you go. How's this?
Let the universe drive.
So I think it's just, I want to just share that, because I think sometimes we really kind of get stuck in the dark.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah.
Liane, I could talk with you for obviously hours and hours, but I could talk with you for days. But let's start to wrap this up a little bit. Is there anything in particular that you'd love to leave our audience with? Maybe a piece of wisdom or a funny joke or something in particular you want to just kind of let.
Oh, there's my brain is regurgitating so many things that I'd love to say. And obviously I have to get that book finished because a lot of it's in there. The biggest thing that I think I want everybody listening today to hear is, you've got this. There is nothing standing between you and your best life but you. And you can do anything you put your heart and mind into. You have to make the choice to not allow your past to define who you are now. You can choose different every moment of the day. Buddha said, you start a new day every day. You've got a new chance every morning when you wake up. Well, because I just have to be difficult, I say, you've got every moment to change your mind, not wait to be a shit today until tomorrow and then I'll choose. Choose now, and then choose now, and then choose now, and then choose now. You can choose now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a difference in my life now. And where do you start with that? You start with you. Put your mask on, take some time for you, ask yourselves the heavy questions. What do I want to do? Who do I want to be? And who do I want to help? Because that's what's going to kickstart your vision, your mission, and your purpose. And it starts with you. Yeah. Cool.
I love it. All right, Liane, is there specific channels that people can follow or find you to follow along with you, whether it's on the socials or emails?
Absolutely. You bet. I've got lianepinel.com. I'm on Instagram at Liane Pinel Consulting, Facebook at Liane Pinel. Let's see, where else am I? TikTok, Fair, Shootproof, my artworks, I am all over the internet. If you're
listing things that I've never heard of before.
Yeah, if you go to my Linktree Liane Pinel, just about everything is up there. Okay. Yeah, I'm all over. You could type my name in and you'll find a whole bunch of me everywhere.
I love it. I'll also include the links in the show notes as well so that people can find you awesome. And connect very easily. But Liane, thank you so much for being here. I have loved this conversation. I so appreciate the wisdom that you've been sharing. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. It was wonderful.
Okay, my loves, that is the totality of my time with Liane. It was such a juicy conversation. I learned so much in our initial conversation. When I sat back down to edit the podcast and bring it all together for you here, I just learned a whole bunch more as I prepared videos for social media. I learned a whole bunch more. So definitely this is one of those episodes that is worth a re-listen and absolutely worth a share. I would love, and I know Liane would love, if you would share this episode out with your network, send it to a friend, send it to a sibling, heck, send it to strangers, post it on your social medias. We'd really appreciate you helping to bring the word out. That sounds so weird to say that. It's like, we're not a church. Let me try that again. We just really want to have your help and ask for your help in getting the message out so that more people can shift their lives, can create more joy, can let go of those old pieces of baggage that really aren't serving them anyhow, and just live a better life. If you loved the mantra that Liane shared and you wanted a printed copy of it, I will include a link in the show notes that you can just sign up for the email, and I will email you the mantra. I may even make it beautiful so you can print it out or set it as your screensaver. I know I am absolutely going to be printing out the mantra and putting it up in my bathroom or on the bedroom mirror so that when I have my hair all a muss and I look a little bit crazy and I still have that terrible morning breath. Actually, let's be honest. I'm probably going to say it after I brush my teeth because I, honest to goodness, just cannot stand any kind of morning breath. It's a whole thing. So with that, if you want to capture that by email, I will have the link for you to do so in the show notes. And I just want to thank you for listening. Thank you for myself. Thank you from Liane. And we hope that you got a lot out of this. All right, my loves. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform and help me reach more like-minded people who are ready to expand their life. If you haven't yet followed me on social media, find me on Instagram for extra love and inspiration by following at Amy Van Meel or visit my website at amyvanmeel.com. I love you so much, babe, and I am damn proud of you. I am already excited to connect in the next episode. And in the meantime, believe in yourself with the confidence of a 5-year-old.